शांति शांति शांति। Namaskar, hearty welcome to you all in this Be with Yoga, Be at Home webinar series being organized by Ministry of Ayush, Government of India in collaboration with 5 leading yoga institutions of our country. And these webinar series is part of the many such activities initiated by Ministry of Ayush to observe International Day of Yoga 2021. Today we have yoga masters from Kaivalyadhama Yoga with us. The Kaivalyadhama Yoga Institute and Research Center was founded by eminent yoga master, yoga guru Swami Kaivalyadhama in the year 1924. Swamiji also started the first scientific journal devoted to scientific investigations into yoga called Yoga Mimamsa. And Kaivalyadhama is also pioneer in starting the yoga college and started a first 2 years certificate course and then 1 year very standard diploma course in yoga education. Swami Kaivalyadhama is a great sadhak, a researcher and a teacher who was primarily known for his pioneering research into scientific foundations of yoga. His influence on modern yoga has been profound. Kaivalyadhama is one of the oldest and best yoga institutions. Kaivalyadhama combines yoga with modern disciplines to research and education in yogic science and philosophy. We are very fortunate to have today Sri Subodh Tiwariji and Sri Vivek Tiwariji. Sri Subodh Tiwariji is the CEO of Kaivalyadhama Yoga, and I do know from many years Sri Subodhji is a very young and dynamic leader, a good teacher and very able administrator, and he is a nature lover too. He does all that he can do, preserve nature and promotes efforts towards a better environment. Today we can see the Kaivalyadhama campus where the tradition lives but the touch of modern technology, so that the ancient knowledge combines with the modern science so that we can serve to the humankind. The message of Swamiji, the legacy of Kaivalyadhama continued like this by the eminent people in the campus. We have Sri Yogacharya Sri Vivek Tiwariji. Sri Vivek Tiwariji is experienced Yogacharya of Kaivalyadhama. He is having a master degree in yoga. He is a diploma in yoga education from Kaivalyadhama and also diploma in naturopathy and yogic science. He has more than 24 years of yoga sadhana and more than 21 years of teaching experience. He is always trying to spread traditional yoga culture of Kaivalyadhama in a scientific way. I heartily welcome both Sri Subodhji and Sri Vivekji, and also welcome you all for this webinar. I do hope today's session will enhance our knowledge, skill and experience and motivate us to practice yoga regularly for health, happiness and harmony in our lives. With these few words, I once again welcome you all. Dhanyavad, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Namaskar, and again welcome to this session on Pranayama. I often say the only thing which keeps you continuously in touch with this universe is your breath. We may have forgotten, we may have given holidays and vacations to many things in our life, but I don't think any one of us has thought, let's not breathe for 10 minutes. And that's the importance of Pranayama. Pranayama is one of the angas in the Ashtanga Yoga, And we at Kaivalyadhama believe that it is one of the most important links to transcend from the physical self to the Antaranga Yoga or the mind stuff. So, understanding the techniques of pranayama, experiencing the effects of pranayama through the techniques is very important. And one underlining statement which we have often heard right from the time of Swami Kaivalyadhama is that pranayama is a practice which needs to be done shanai shanai, that is slower the better. You should devote time to master the techniques and then dive deeper into the sublime practices of pranayama. So I am sure you will enjoy this session, and I again say this becomes one of the most important aspects of the Ashtanga Yoga of pranayama. Thank you so much.
Namaste. This is Vivek Tiwari again in front of you from Kaivalyadhama Yoga Institute, Lonavala. Welcome to this third episode, Yoga for Young Minds. Today we are going to discuss about pranayama. We are introducing those yoga practices in progression and in sequence of the tradition. Which kind of sequence? Because in the first episode we discussed about Shuddhi Kriyas, cleansing, so detoxification, cleansing. After cleansing, then you go for asana practices. After asana practices, then you go for pranayama practices. Maharishi Patanjali also gave the importance of pranayama at fourth level. Fourth limb of Ashtanga Yoga of Maharishi Patanjali is pranayama. So it is assumed in Hatha Pradipika or in Hatha Yogic text that you are already a practitioner and you are going to practice pranayama as a regular practitioner. So directly they gave the name to pranayama as a kumbhak, ashta kumbhak, 8 kumbhakas, 8 types of pranayams. Maharishi Patanjali, he defined pranayama as tasmin sati shvasa prashvasa yor gati vichhedah pranayamaha. Tasmin sati, after that, means after what? After following yama niyama, that means social codes of conduct and personal codes of conduct, that is satya, ahimsa, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, shauch, santosh, tap, swadhyaya and ishwar pranidhan. So after following those yama niyamas, then after practicing asana, when you will get mastery over your body parts, when you will be able to sit comfortable for longer time, asana jay, when you get victory over your body, when you get mastery over your body parts, when you are able to sit for longer time in a straight position without any pain, without any disturbance, that time. So tasmin sati, after getting mastery over your body parts by practicing asana. So by practicing different asana, you will get mastery over your body parts, you will be able to maintain the natural curvature of the vertebral column. After that, they said, tasmin sati, shvasa prashvasa, inhalation and exhalation, breathe in and breathe out, shvasa prashvasa. So you are controlling the breath, okay, that is pranayama. So what kind of vichheda you are doing? You are controlling the natural speed of the breath, okay. What kind of natural speed of the breath? That we are going to discuss. So on an average, as a human being, our breathing speed is around 15 to 22 breaths in a minute. Whereas in different pranayamic practices, your breathing speed per minute In some pranayam it is 2 or 3 breath in a minute. In some pranayam only 1 breath in a minute. In some pranayam 4 to 5 breath in a minute. And when you practice pranayam regularly, after the regular practice, everyday practice, gradually when you increase your lungs capacity, breathing capacity, then the speed of the breath is again decreasing more and more. And you are taking less and less number of breath in a minute. It improves your carbon dioxide tolerance capacity of the cell. Many times it is misunderstood that by practicing pranayam you are increasing the oxygen level. No, it increases the carbon dioxide in your body by practicing pranayam, by kumbhak. That means your body cells are trained to be alive for longer time with the less quantity of oxygen. For pranayam practices, sitting straight is very important. Maintaining the natural curvature of the vertebral column is very necessary. So that traditionally it is said that the flow of prana in Sushumna is possible very easily. Prana can enter in Sushumna very easily when your spine is in the natural curvature. There is no obstruction when it is in the natural curvature. That is why sitting straight, keeping your spine erect is important for pranayam practices. Okay. If you are not able to sit on the ground, if you are uncomfortable, you can sit on the cushion, you can sit on the bed, you can sit on the chair. Doesn't matter, but sitting straight is important. So, now as asana practices are affecting at the physical level first, and then day by day after the regular practice, long practice, then it starts affecting at the psychological level, at the emotional level. Slowly, slowly, that is the spiritual aspect of asana. Whereas pranayam practices are directly affecting on your mind. How? There is a close relation of your breathing speed and your mind. And also there is a close relation of your breathing speed and your lifespan. So that is why less is the breathing speed, control is the mind. Controlled is the mind, less is the breathing speed, vice versa. Disturbed is the mind, more is the breathing speed. Relaxed is the mind, less is the breathing speed. Chale vate, chale chittam nischale nischale bhavet. Because of the moment of your vata, vayu, gas, breathing, your chitta moves. And because of the moment of chitta, your breathing moves. So controlling the mind is not easy, but controlling the breath is easy. You can hold the breath for some time. That is pranayam. That is why tasmin sati shwasa prashwasa yor gati vichchedaha pranayama. Whatever is the speed of your normal breathing, you are controlling that speed of the breath. That is pranayam. There are different pranayama techniques explained in Hathavik texts. Out of them, we are going to discuss few pranayam which are necessary, which are useful in our daily routine to live our life very healthy and happy. The first pranayam we are going to discuss is Anuloma Vilom Pranayam. It is very popular. The another name of this pranayam is also, it is known as Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. नाड़ियों की शुद्धि करने वाला प्राणायाम. The pranayam which is cleansing out your nadis, the subtlest energy tubes or channels. As per Upanishads, there are 72,000 nadis in your body, energy tubes or channels in your body, very subtle structure. That structure is like a structure of a nervous system, but not nerves, because nervous system, the smallest nerve can be detected under the electronic microscope, but nadis can't be detected. It's a very subtle structure, but it is there, through which your prana is getting circulated throughout the body. So out of those 72,000 nadis, 10 nadis are important nadis which are opening in your all the 10 big doors of the body or big holes, visible holes of the body. And those 10 big visible holes of the body are your 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, mouth, anus, sex organ. These are 9, and the 10th is here at the top of the head, Dashamadwar, Sahasrara, place of Sahasrara chakra. Now this is closed, but immediately after the birth, for 5 to 6 months, this is open. You know, in Indian tradition we put lot of oil here. So that is the actually particular period for basic samskaras on that baby, that Dashamadwar, Sahasrara chakra. So these are 10 openings in which those 10 important nadis are getting opened. Out of 10, 3 are very, very important nadis which are getting opened in your left nostril, right nostril, and another nadi which is getting opened in the vertebral column. At the base of the vertebral column, below the tailbone, and it is passing through the vertebral column and going up. So those names of those nadis are Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. Ida nadi is the symbol of the moon, and moon is the symbol of the coolness. That is why left nostril is known as Chandra nadi, lunar nadi, which gives cooling effect. Pingala nadi opens in your right nostril, and Pingala is the symbol of the sun. That is why it is right nostril is known as Surya nadi, solar nadi, which is giving the heating effect, warmness. In Anulom Vilom Pranayam, you are supposed to inhale through your left nostril, exhale through the right nostril, cooling effect. Then you will inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril, heating effect. So it is balancing. That is why Anuloma Vilom, balancing pranayam. The same pranayam when you are practicing by holding the breath with kumbhak, because in your usual inhalation and exhalation process, only inhalation and exhalation is there. There is no holding of the breath. Inhalation process is known as Purak in pranayam. Exhalation is known as Rechak in pranayam. Whereas in between, after inhalation, when you are holding the breath, retention of the breath, that is known as Kumbhak. But Kumbhak is not recommended to be practiced for the beginners. In the beginning, only Purak and Rechak, inhalation and exhalation. Then increase your timing of inhalation and exhalation. Increase the capacity. Ideally, your exhalation time should be double than the inhalation time, always, for all pranayam. So your Rechak should be for double time of inhalation time. When you will be very comfortable for the double time of exhalation, and you will be approximately able to reach up to around 7 or 8 seconds of inhalation, and then 14 to 16 seconds of exhalation, 1:2 round ratio. Then it is recommended to start Kumbhak. Then with Kumbhak, in the beginning, you will try to hold your breath equal to the time of inhalation. Exhalation will be for double time. Practice it for a few months. Then you will go for double time of inhalation for holding the breath. Kumbhak will be double time of inhalation. So in the beginning, the round ratio will be 1:1:2. After few months of practice, then 1:2:2, then 1:3:2, and then 1:4:2. 1:4:2 is the highest round ratio. So highest Kumbhak will be 4 times of inhalation. For example, if your inhalation capacity is 8 seconds, then your holding capacity will be 32, and exhalation will be for 16 seconds. So that will be the round ratio. Maximum holding of the breath. That round ratio 1-4-2. Again coming back towards Anulom Vilom Pranayam. Today we have Kaveri with us for the demonstration. She is our ex-student of GS College of Yoga, Kaivalyadhama. So welcome Kaveri, and she is going to demonstrate Anulom Vilom Pranayam now. So for that, first you are supposed to sit in any comfortable meditative pose, preferably Padmasana or Siddhasana. But don't force yourself. Okay. If you are not able to keep your spine erect, if you are not able to maintain the natural curvature of the spine because of some spinal problem or because of the stiffness, then you can use the cushion. You can sit on the cushion. Okay. Don't hesitate to prop up yourself. Or you can sit on the chair, you can sit on the bed, whichever is comfortable for you. As I told you, that position is very important. When your spine is erect, that time it will be very easy for you to channelize your prana in Sushumna very easily. And then it gives the elimination of the possibility of the compression of the abdominal viscera. Your abdominal region is getting compressed when you are sink down. So when you are sitting straight, that time your diaphragm is getting the sufficient space for the movement. And that is why sitting straight is very important. Now Kaveri will demonstrate Anulom Vilom Pranayam. Using your right hand to close the nostrils is recommended. Okay. Because in our Indian tradition, always we start any good work with the right hand or right leg. That is why using your right hand is recommended. Then this is the mudra for pranayam, in which you are folding your index and middle finger in this way, and then your thumb is straight and your ring and little finger are straight together. This is mudra for pranayam. Okay. And then with the help of your thumb, you will close your right nostril. With the help of your ring and little finger, you will close your left nostril. Then keep your elbow and upper arm close to the chest like this. If you are hanging your hand like this, okay, after some time you will get the pain. Because of the luxurious life, you are not habitual to lift your hand for a long time. So better you relax it. Okay. When it is resting here, you won't have pain and you can maintain it for longer time. Even after that also, if you are having a uncomfort, you are having a pain in your hand or shoulder, you can give support of the left hand like this, in this way. Okay. So this will be the procedure for pranayam. Now Kaveri, please, for Anulom Vilom Pranayam, you will start to inhale through your left nostril, sitting straight and comfortable, eyes are closed, keeping your face in front. You will count the numbers in your mind, then close the left nostril and start to exhale through the right nostril for double time. But this round ratio also can be increased by the practice day by day. For the beginners, don't pay attention on the round ratio immediately. Okay. Then you will inhale through the right nostril, again counting the numbers, and exhale through the left nostril for double time of inhalation. So this is one round. Now in this way you will continue, Kaveri. But see, you should touch your thumb, your finger at the below the nose bone, not at the tip of the nostril. Okay. It should be exactly fixed below the nose bone here. Okay. Because this is the curvature of the thumb and finger which is exactly fixing here. So close at below the nose bone, not at the tip of the nose. Okay. And now continue again. Kaveri, keep going, but only just relax your elbow and your upper arm is resting on the chest so that you won't have pain in the shoulder, and shoulders should be relaxed. In this way, you keep going. This is Anulom Vilom Pranayam. So initially for the beginners, it is done without kumbhak, without any ratio. So when you are practicing it with kumbhak, then it will be known as Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. So naturally the training should be gradual so that the delicate coordination between circulatory and respiratory system will not be disturbed. Okay, this coordination should be maintained, and yet it brings control over the autonomic functions as well as mental and emotional aspects also considered. So the individual would be able to develop tolerance to the increasing level of CO2, as I told you in the beginning. So also care should be taken that faulty practice can arise disorders in the body. Very clearly mentioned in the tradition. If you are practicing pranayam in a wrong way without any guidance, it may harm you. You may develop some particular diseases. Then absolutely safe without kumbhak in all age groups and for the beginners. Those who are beginners or those who are practicing only to maintain the general health, for them, don't bother about kumbhak, don't bother about the round ratio, just as per your capacity, you keep practicing. This practice will strengthen the autonomic nervous system. It affects on the autonomous nervous system, and that is why if you are practicing this Anulom Vilom Pranayam, it gives calmness and coolness to the mind. There is no restriction for this pranayam. The person with any age group having any problems can practice this Anulom Vilom Pranayam. But many times people practice it, inhale and exhale is with sound, with force. Okay. So many people are practicing like this. No. As the definition is controlling the natural speed of the breath, whatever is the breathing speed. During your normal inhalation and exhalation, are you producing the sound? Are you inhaling or exhaling forcefully? No. And you have to control that natural speed of the breath. So no force. The speed should be more and more less than the usual breathing speed. That is why it should be very slow, controlled, silent, inhale and exhale. Okay. So this is Anulom Vilom. After exhalation of through the left nostril, you will finish the round. Then you can stop. Don't stop in between. Finish your round and then stop. Okay. Now, when you are practicing, when you become a regular practitioner, after that, you can proceed further for Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. As I explained about nadis, the 72,000 nadis, if you have some blockages in those nadis, then it is very difficult to flow that prana is getting obstructed, and because of those obstructions, prana is not able to travel through those nadis and not able to reach up to that particular part of the body, and then you suffer from problems. Cleansing of those nadis, Nadi Shodhan, cleansing of the nadis. That is why this pranayam is known as Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. By practicing this pranayam, you are cleansing out those blockages of the nadis. That is why Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. In which, in the same way like Anulom Vilom Pranayam, you are inhaling through the left nostril. After inhalation, you will close both the nostrils to hold the breath. Kumbhak. Okay. As I told you, the round ratio for kumbhak, timing of the kumbhak will be equal to the inhalation time in the beginning. And then your exhalation will be for double time of inhalation. So round ratio will be 1, 1, 2 in the beginning. So again, I will request Kaveri to demonstrate this Nadi Shodhan Pranayam now. So sitting straight, comfortable, eyes are closed, face in front. Then with your right hand, you are making mudra for pranayam, pranav mudra, and then you will close your right nostril first with the thumb below the nose bone. Then you will inhale through the left nostril, counting the numbers in your mind. As per your capacity, you will inhale. Then close your both the nostrils to hold the breath. Now she is showing this Jalandhar Bandha. Okay. So when you are holding the breath, that time you apply Jalandhar Bandha. Okay. This chin is coming to the jugular notch. Then you will exhale through the right nostril for double time. Then you will inhale through the right nostril again, counting the numbers. Then holding the breath, Kumbhak, with Jalandhara Bandha. And then you will exhale through the left nostril after finishing your Kumbhak. Exhalation time is double. This will be one round of Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. In this way, keep going, Kaveri. So, this Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, as I told you, Kumbhak will be, timing of the Kumbhak will be increased gradually. Round ratio will be increased gradually, progressively. But it should be practiced under the guidance of a yoga teacher, not at your own. Be careful. As I mentioned in the beginning, it is also said that by controlling the breath, you are going to increase your lifespan also. On an average, breathing speed of a human being is 15 to 22 breaths in a minute. Average lifespan of a human being is around 70 to 72 years. If you take example of a dog which takes around 90 to 125 breaths in a minute, average lifespan of a dog is around 13 to 14 years. Whereas if you take example of a tortoise, the breathing speed of a turtle is around one breath in 2 to 4 minutes. Very slow breathing. Average lifespan of a turtle is minimum 200 to 50 years, maximum 1400 years. So naturally, minimum is the breathing speed, maximum is the lifespan. That is why by controlling your breath, by practicing pranayam, you are going to increase your lifespan. So when you are asked the question, how old you are? Immediately we are answering, I am 13 years old, I am 35 years old, I am 45 years old, 60 years old. No. Your age is, your lifespan is in your breath, number of respirations, not in years. Okay. So nobody knows how many breaths you've finished and how many breaths are remaining. Nobody knows. That is why utilize the breath. Don't spend the breath. And utilization of the breath is possible through pranayam only, controlling the breath only. So this is about Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, cleansing of the nadis. And this is considered as a basic pranayam because by practicing this pranayam, when your nadis are getting cleansed out, then the effect of other pranayam becomes very fast in a short time. You will get the success. Kumbhak. When you become a regular practitioner, you implement Kumbhak, you implement Jalandhara Bandha. This is compulsory from the beginning. There are other two important bandhas which are optional, that is Moola Bandha and Uddiyan Bandha. If you are a regular practitioner or when you become advanced practitioner and you become comfortable with Kumbhak, and you are able to increase your timing of the round ratio gradually, then under the guidance of a yoga teacher, from the beginning, you will apply Mool Bandha first. Then you will start to practice pranayam. Mool Bandha will be applied throughout, contraction of the anal sphincters and perineal region. Then you will continue your pranayam with Kumbhak. You will inhale, for example, if you are taking example of a Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, you are inhaling through the left nostril with Mool Bandha. Then you will hold the breath, then you apply Jalandhara Bandha. After Jalandhara Bandha, then you will apply Uddiyan Bandha after inhalation. Okay. After finishing your Kumbhak, your capacity of Kumbhak, then you will release your Uddiyan Bandha first. Then you will release your Jalandhara Bandha. Exhale through the right nostril. Again, still your Mool Bandha is applied throughout. Again, you will inhale through the right, hold the breath, maintain Jalandhara Bandha, then Uddiyan Bandha. After finishing Kumbhak, you will release Uddiyan Bandha first, then release Jalandhara Bandha, then you will exhale through the left nostril for double time. After finishing this round, then you can release Mool Bandha. So Mool Bandha, if you are applying, it should be from start to the end of round. Or if you are a very advanced practitioner, then this Mool Bandha can be applied throughout. How many rounds of pranayam you are practicing? From the beginning till the last round of pranayam, you will not release Mool Bandha. But it needs a practice, and you should be a very advanced practitioner for that, not for the beginners. So those three bandhas or three bandhas can be applied or to be applied for the advanced practice of pranayam to get a proper benefit of pranayam. Because by applying Mool Bandha, you are closing two doors, that is your sex organ and your anus. By applying Jalandhar Bandha, you are closing all the other doors, eyes, nostrils, ears, mouth. Okay, this is the main highway. When your main highway is blocked, all the other ways are blocked. And then after that, when you apply Uddiyana Bandha, that time your prana is able to enter in Sushumna Nadi, pushed in Sushumna Nadi. Okay, so that Uddiyana, Udna, to fly. So your prana should fly in Sushumna Nadi. That is the aim of pranayam. So this is the importance of bandhas in pranayam. After practicing this Nadi Shodhan pranayam, now we are going to discuss about another pranayam that is known as Surya Bhedan pranayam. In Nadi Shodhan pranayam, you are balancing. Once you are inhaling through the left nostril, exhaling through the right, then after that you are inhaling through the right and exhaling through the left. So cooling effect Chandra, heating effect Surya, lunar and solar. So balancing. Now in Surya Bhedan pranayam, it's only one way. You are supposed to inhale through the right nostril only, hold the breath and exhale through the left nostril. Again you will inhale through the right, hold, exhale through the left. Only one circle. Okay, no opposite action. Only one way. So that is known as Surya Bhedan pranayam. So those pranayam practices, different pranayam practices are having different effects. Some pranayam practices are giving heating effect. Some pranayam are cooling pranayam. Some pranayam are balancing pranayam. So always you start with the balancing pranayam, Anulom Vilom. So you don't know whether you are having your pitta is activated or you are having excess pitta or you are having excess mucus or you are having excess gas. You don't know Vat, Pitta or Kapha. If you don't know, then better to start with by practicing balancing pranayam, Anulom Vilom pranayam, Nadi Shodhan pranayam. After that, then you go for other pranayam practices as per the guidance of a yoga master. Then according to your constitution, according to your disturbance of Vata, Pitta or Kapha, then you can decide which pranayam should be practiced, which should be avoided. Now Surya Bhedan pranayam, Surya, naturally sun, heating. So it will generate heat. It is giving heating effect. That is why those who are having already hyperacidity, those who are having pitta disorder, pitta is very active, for them it will increase the pitta level again. So that is why for them better to avoid this pranayam. In Surya Bhedan, as I told you that you are, now it is assumed that it is considered that you are a regular practitioner and then you will start directly with Kumbhak. So again I will request Kaivalyadhama to demonstrate Surya Bhedan pranayam, sitting comfortable in any position, meditative state like Padmasana or Siddhasana or any comfortable position, sitting straight, face in front, and then you will close your eyes first, relax for some time, Then slowly, using your right hand, adopt your mudra for pranayam. Start to inhale through the right nostril first. Close your left nostril with your ring and little finger. Count the numbers in your mind. Then hold the breath. Apply Jalandhar Bandha. Now your holding capacity will be as per your convenience, maybe equal to the inhalation time, double than inhalation time, whatever. And then you will exhale through the left nostril for double time. Exhalation, Rechak, is always for double time of inhalation. There is no fluctuation, there is no plus minus for exhalation time. In this way, again you will inhale through the right nostril, hold and exhale through the left nostril. In this way, keep going, Kaveri. So, this Surya Bhedan pranayam, in which Bhedan means to open or to bloom. Okay. This pranayam is effective in arising the dormant kundalini. That kundalini is in a dormant state. It is just like sleeping. Okay. And when you practice this Surya Bhedan pranayam, that time this kundalini is getting activated. Not only by practicing Surya Bhedan, but by practicing pranayam, different pranayam practices. Ghiran Samhita mentions the Surya Bhedan and mentions the 10 vital airs which are to be balanced. Okay, all those 10 vital airs to be balanced. Some of them are known as prana and apana, vayu. 10 vayus should be balanced. Prana and apana also one of them. Then with exactly Ghiran Samhita is mentioning is the vital air are combined during the practice of Kumbhaka in Surya Bhedan. This combined 10 air are accumulated at the navel region and are to be driven up through Sushumna, and that is possible when you apply Uddiyana Bandha. Okay, that it should be go in Sushumna, pushed in Sushumna, and to push it we need Uddiyana Bandha. Here the student should consult its own capacity while doing this pranayam, as if you are practicing it beyond the capacity, then it may damage your lungs or you may have some incurable diseases. Okay, by practicing pranayam in a wrong way, it is clearly mentioned that it may affect on your health. You may have some particular diseases related to your nervous system. So that is why be careful while practicing pranayam. It should be practiced under the guidance of a yoga master, yoga guru, not at your own. Okay, so be careful. This is about Surya Bhedan pranayam. After exhalation through the left nostril, after finishing this round, Kaveri, you can stop and relax. Relax with the normal breathing and just try to observe the changes and effects of this pranayam. Then, after this Surya Bhedan pranayam, one more very important pranayam is known as Ujjayi pranayam. Ujjayi, Vijayapana, to get victory. What kind of victory? The name of pranayam is Ujjayi pranayam. So it is said that you are getting victory over all the diseases. You won't have problems, you won't have diseases if you are practicing this pranayam. In Ujjayi pranayam, you are supposed to inhale through both the nostrils, exhale through both the nostrils in the beginning. But you are supposed to contract the glottis and produce the smooth hissing sound during inhalation and during exhalation. So because of that obstruction, the air is getting obstructed and that hissing sound is produced, because of which the air becomes little warm and enters in your lungs. But because of that contraction of the glottis, it stimulates your thyroid glands. That is why it is good for thyroid disorders also, Ujjayi Pranayama. If you have some sore throat, soreness in the throat, means when you are having some hard mucus in the air pipe, in your throat, in your food pipe, and again and again, many times people need to do like this. Okay. If you practice Ujjayi Pranayama, that hard mucus will be removed. And then your air pipe, your air passage will be will have easy flow of the air. As your thyroid glands are soldiers, they are fighting against the enemies, and when you are stimulating your thyroid glands properly, you won't have thyroid disorders, and in this way you won't have any disease, any problem. That is why it is known as Ujjayi Pranayama. You will get victory over all the problems. You won't have any problem. So prevention. So you are going to prevent yourself from the future diseases or future problems. In this Ujjayi Pranayama, another technique in which traditionally you will inhale through both the nostrils with the hissing sound, then you will hold the breath with kumbhak, and then you will exhale through the left nostril. First, I will request Kaveri to demonstrate in a simple way, that is inhalation through both the nostrils, exhalation through both the nostrils. Throughout you are supposed to contract your glottis and produce the hissing sound with inhalation and exhalation both times. Kaveri, please you can start Ujjayi Pranayama now. To understand how to produce this Ujjayi sound, imagine if you have hole here and inserting the straw, you want to suck the liquid from here. Then immediately you will understand how to contract the glottis and you will be able to produce the sound. Or you can drop your chin slightly down so that you can be able to contract the glottis and produce the sound easily. This is the pranayam in which, or this pranayam can be done either in sitting position or in standing position, or while walking also you can practice this Ujjayi Pranayam. This is the only pranayam, okay, exceptional, that you can practice it in standing or in walking also. So, but not for the ones who are more into spirituality and not practicing only for physical gains. So keep it in mind. The result in the experimentation leads us to the conclusion that the pulmonic capacity becomes much larger in the inhalation with the controlled abdomen than the inhalation in the normal condition of the abdomen. The larger oxygen level are recorded, so it increases your oxygen level in the controlled abdomen than the relaxed abdomen. So that is why it should be under control. Your abdominal muscles should be under control during this pranayam or in any pranayam. So this is Ujjayi Pranayam. Now another technique of Ujjayi Pranayam, or traditionally, in which you are supposed to inhale through both the nostrils with the hissing sound, keep contracting your glottis, hold the breath kumbhak, and then your exhalation will be through the left nostril only. Kaveri, you can demonstrate now the other way. Again, your Mool Bandha and Uddyan Bandha will be optional in the beginning, but Jalandhar Bandha is compulsory. That you should apply during Kumbhak. Again, round ratio, it will depend on the capacity of the individual and level of the individual. Whether you are a beginner, you are in the primary stage, you are in the intermediate stage, you are in the advanced stage, whether you are a master, it depends. So gradually you will increase the time of the Kumbhak. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, whatever. Now, after this Ujjayi Pranayam, this Ujjayi Pranayam gives calmness, your coolness to your mind, to your head. This can be practiced by anybody only in case of infection in the throat. If you have sore throat and if you have inflammation, swelling in the throat, then in that case don't practice Ujjayi Pranayam. Okay, that is very important. Knowing the limitation is important than the knowing the benefit. So please make it a point. We saw this Ujjayi also producing little warmness in the throat, little heat in the throat, but it is not exactly hitting pranayam. Surya Vedan is hitting pranayam. Now let us go further with one more pranayam known as Bhastrika Pranayam. The technique of Bhastrika, the modern technique, is different, in which you are just actively inhalation is active, exhalation is also active. Okay, that is the modern Bhastrika. In the traditional text, Bhastrika is explained in a different way. It is a combination of Kapalabhati and Surya Vedan. Kapalabhati also should be very active than usual Kapalabhati while Bhastrika Pranayam. So, at least 20 strokes of Kapalabhati, active Kapalabhati. At the time of the last stroke, you will exhale completely. Your last stroke will be elongated. Immediately, you will inhale through the right nostril, hold the breath, kumbhak, and exhale through the left nostril. Means Surya Vedan, one round of Surya Vedan Pranayama. After exhalation through the left nostril, again you will inhale through both the nostrils a little for the preparation of the Kapalabhati for the next round. So that is one round of Bhastrika Pranayam traditionally. Now again I will request Kaveri to demonstrate Bhastrika in a traditional way. That means active Kapalabhati, 20 strokes of Kapalabhati very actively, in which your inhalation also little active. Then at the time of the last stroke, you will exhale completely. Immediately one round of Surya Vedan. Inhale through the right, hold the breath, and then exhale through the left nostril. In Sanskrit, Bhastrika means a bellow, imitating the hissing bellow of the village blacksmith. Quick suction of the forceful expiration is Bhastrika. Okay, forceful exhalation. Number of the strokes are determined by the strength of the individual. So you don't have to force yourself. Kapalabhati plus Surya Vedan is Bhastrika. Also Kapalabhati plus Ujjayi is also mentioned as the type of Bhastrika in Yoga Mimamsa journal of Kaivalyadhama by Swamiji. Kumbhaka to be avoided for the beginners. If you are a beginner, then don't practice Kumbhaka. Kaveri, you can continue. Okay, so Kumbhaka is not compulsory in the beginning for the beginners, but it is recommended for the better results. The strength of the doing the Surya Vedan or Ujjayi is increased following Kapalabhati. By following this Kapalabhati, then you can practice Surya Vedan or Ujjayi in a better way. One of the Ashtakumbhaka mentioned by Swatmaram in his text Hatha Pradipika and mentioned in Gheran Samhita also. This pranayam is mentioned in both the traditional texts of yoga. Hatha Pradipika also by Swatmaram and Gheran Samhita by Gheran Muniji. This is a very traditional technique of pranayam, very effective, and it generates tremendous heat in your body. That is why those who are suffering from severe hyperacidity or severe high blood pressure, heart problems, for them this pranayam should be avoided. Don't practice this pranayam. Whereas those who are having kapha dosh, mucus disorders, for kapha dosh this pranayam is very good. Even it is good for vata dosh also, those who are having joint pain. For them, they need to keep their body warm, and for them this pranayam will be very helpful. So this is the traditional technique of Bhastrika pranayam. The next round Kaveri you will demonstrate with the hissing sound of Ujjayi. During Kapalabhati also and during Surya Bhedan also you will practice Ujjayi pranayam. So now Kapalabhati is with the contracted glottis. And then again you will inhale with Ujjayi sound, hold the breath, and also exhale with Ujjayi sound. Relax. You can take rest now. So this is about Bhastrika pranayam, heat generating pranayam. Surya Bhedan and Bhastrika both are heating pranayam. Now the counterbalance for those pranayam is cooling pranayam. There are two optional pranayam, exceptional cases, in which your inhalation is through mouth. Exhalation is always through the nostril for all pranayam. But these are two pranayam, cooling pranayam, in which your inhalation is happening through the mouth. That is known as Sitkari pranayam and Shitali pranayam. In Sitkari pranayam you are producing Sit, C sound. That is why Sitkar. In this pranayam you are supposed to close the jaws, your teeth are on each other, your tongue is against your teeth from inside, and then you are inhaling through the mouth with the C sound. In this way. And then you exhale through the nostrils for double time. Again, in advanced practice, you will hold the breath kumbhak and then exhale through the left nostril. But in the beginning, only simple technique that you are inhaling through the mouth, exhaling through the nostril. Round ratio is 1:2. Exhalation time double. Again, Kaveri, I will request you to demonstrate this Sitkari pranayam. So closing your jaws, keeping your teeth against each other, both the jaws, tongue is against your teeth from inside, and then you will inhale with the C sound. And then you will exhale through both the nostrils for double time. Keep going in this way. So this Sitkari pranayam is one of the cooling pranayam. It is mentioned in Hatha Pratipika chapter 2 and Shloka 53. Having a possessing the sound of Sit, sound to be produced only during Purak, during inhalation only, not during exhalation through the nostrils. So pressing the tongue against your teeth, then only it is possible to produce the sound. Actually, when you are inhaling through the mouth, because of the saliva on the tongue in the mouth, the air is getting moist, getting cooled down, and that cold air is entering and it is giving cooling effect. This pranayam, practically, this pranayam is very good for the chain smokers, because by practicing this pranayam, slowly it is affecting on your taste buds, and person can reduce the consumption of the smoking, and then day by day automatically you will reduce, and one day you will give up. So it is good for the smokers. and it is very good cooling pranayam. So those who are having hyperacidity, pitta disorders, for them it is very effective, very good. Remember, this cooling pranayam, Shitali and Sitkari pranayam, is increasing your vata also. So that is why those who are suffering from vata and mucus, means kapha, don't practice cooling pranayam. And this pranayam should be practiced according to the season only. Shitali or Sitkari pranayam in winter, in cold season. In summer, in hot season, it is very good. It is very effective to cool down yourself. You know, the carnivorous animals, the non-vegetarian animals like dogs, cats, or tigers, how they are breathing? They are breathing through the mouth. Why? That is the cooling technique for them, God gifted, because they don't sweat. Human beings, we are sweating because we are vegetarian naturally. So by sweating, you are cooling down yourself. But those animals are not able to cool down themselves because of the hairs, thick hairs on the body, and they don't sweat also. So to cool down themselves, they breathe through the mouth like this. The same technique which is used in our air cooler in our home. So that is why it is very good to pitta dosh, okay, cooling down yourself. The same pranayam which is having the cooling effect, another technique known as Shitali pranayam. Shital means cool. So it is giving cooling effect. So Shitali pranayam, in which if you are able to take the 3/4 part of the tongue out of the lips, and then sides of the tongue, lateral sides of the tongue, you are folding and making a tube of a tongue like this, just like a beak of a crow. And then you are supposed to inhale through this tube of the tongue and then exhale through the nostrils. So this is Shitali pranayam. It is also giving cooling effect. So in the tradition, this is also explained in Hatha Pratipika after Sitkari. Sitkari is 53rd shlok in 2nd chapter, whereas this Shitali is explained in 56 and 57 shlok of 2nd chapter of Hatha Pratipika. It resembles more like a bird's beak or kakachanchu. Kakachanchu. Kaka means a crow, the beak of a crow. That is why it is known as beak of a crow, because your tongue is resembling like a beak of a crow. And it gives the reference in Shiva Samhita also. That is also mentioned in Shiva Samhita. The moist air is entering, that is why it is cooling down yourself and gives cooling effect to your body and your mind also. Many times when you drink a hot tea or coffee and you burn your tongue, or when you eat spicy or chili, that time also when you burn the tongue, immediately you do Sitkari pranayam. You do like that. So naturally, unknowingly, we are practicing this Sitkari pranayam at home occasionally, but not regularly. But you should practice it regularly. If you have restrictions, if you have any particular problems related to vata dosh or kapha dosh, then only avoid this pranayam. Otherwise, for pitta disorders, those who are having hyperacidity, heart problems, hypertension, for them, those who are having burning sensation in the body, for them, this Shitali and Sitkari pranayam are very effective, very good. So this is about short explanation about pranayam. I said short explanation about pranayam because in short time we can't explain all pranayam. There are other pranayamic practices also in the tradition, but out of them some are very advanced, like Murcha, Plavini, those pranayam practices are very advanced practices. We can't go for those pranayamas, but to maintain our general health, these 4-5 practices of pranayam are very useful. So I will request to practice it, keep practicing. If you have any problems, you feel free to contact us. I hope you'll like this session and you'll keep practicing in the future also. I am very thankful to Kaivalyadhama Yoga Institute and Ayush Ministry for giving this opportunity to present in front of you for this yoga session on the occasion of International Day of Yoga 2021. Thank you very much. Namaste.
My pranams to all. I take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to Ministry of Ayush, Government of India for initiating Be With Yoga, Be at Home webinar series to observe International Day of Yoga 2021. I am also thankful to respected Dr. I.V. Baswareddy sir, Director, Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, for being the torchbearer in this webinar series. Thank you, sir. My deepest and sincere gratitude to respected Shri Subodh Tiwari ji, CEO, Kaivalyadhama Institute, Lonavala, for sparing his valuable time and gracing the occasion with his dignified presence. Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor to have you here with us. On this occasion, on behalf of MDNAY, the entire organization team, and my own personal behalf, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our today's invited speaker, respected Shri Vivek Tiwari ji, Yogacharya, Kaivalyadhama Institute, Lonavala, with us. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your pearls of wisdom with us and vision on the importance of pranayama in our lives. I'm sure your teachings must have enlightened everyone's mind. I would like to thank all our media persons, technical staff, and everyone who have directly or indirectly associated with today's event for their untiring effort and continuous support. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all our yoga lovers who have joined this session from India and abroad. So on this International Day of Yoga, be with yoga, be at home. Thank you all. Namaste.